Hey there, and a very Merry Christmas to everybody. Don't get your hopes up. This isn't a daily news brief, but I had a conversation the other day that somebody suggested that I retell this story because it was a good one, so they said. And as I started to think about it, I agreed. And it's the story of a very special Christmas to me here in Annapolis, in a local establishment, at a very strange period in time in my life. It was back in 2000 or 2001. I'd have to go look and see in my calendar. But I was a newly divorced dad of 3 kids, and that year it was time for my kids to spend Christmas with their mom. So what does a sad, lonely sack of dad do on Christmas night all alone at home? Certainly you can't sit at home watching the Fireplace channel on cable or sappy Christmas movies. So I went to a bar, went down to West Street, and I went to the Ram's Head. And I'm not even sure whether they're open on Christmas night anymore, but it wasn't a very busy night. There were about a dozen people in there, sat down, ordered a beer, and was just sort of watching the world go by. Struck up a conversation with somebody who was in a similar situation. It was a divorced mom, and her kids were with their dad. We started to talk to some other people, and there were some more divorced people. There was another couple of people that were estranged from their families and had nowhere to go. There was somebody new in town that didn't know anybody. It was a real mixed match of people that for whatever reason were alone on Christmas night. We laughed about it, we commiserated about it, we told jokes, drank beer, drank some more beer, and then we got hungry. But the Ram's Head kitchen wasn't open. It wasn't serving a full menu. I remember asking the server, saying, my gosh, you certainly can have some nachos or something, right? And they said, no, nothing. So what did I do? I said, hang on, I'll be back in a second. I got in my car and I drove to the 7-Eleven right there at Taylor Avenue. I bought 4 bags of chips and 3 jars of that really gross queso, and I don't even know who the hell makes it. Hormel, probably. And I went back to the Ram's Head. I asked the server if they had a microwave and if they could nuke up some queso for us, and she absolutely did. Brought it back there, and we all enjoyed a Christmas dinner of chips and crappy queso from the 7-Eleven right there at the Ram's Head. It certainly wasn't the most extravagant Christmas dinner I had ever had, but it was one of the most memorable ones. It brought people together from all different walks of life, yet all with a common, I don't want to say problem, but with a bit in common. It's been at least 15 years. I've kept in touch with a couple of them. Some are still in town, some have moved on, some have found love again. My kids aren't young anymore. They're all legal adults at this point, and they're coming to us for Christmas. But here we are in 2017, and I look back on that night, and I can't help but smile. It was a little bit of a different time. Everybody was in a different place. Not that it's any better or worse now. Well, maybe that's up for debate. But it really just made you realize that there is good and happiness everywhere. You just need to look for it. And who'd have thunk it would have been in the bar at the Ram's Head on Christmas night. From my house to yours, thank you for listening and wishing you all a very, very Merry Christmas.